stuff. So I'm going to let her finish the rest of this call off, folks. You know, blessings to everybody. You guys have a great night. And I'd like to bring up my wife, Miss Wanda Webb.
I appreciate you, baby. Now go knock out that presentation and push us to Chairman 25.
Let's go.
What's up, family? What's up, guys? What's up? Over 200 people on the line who have made a declaration that they are the ones that are called to break generational curses. I want to change that word because what I've learned this year is that generational curses are not curses at all. They're really just generational habits. So we're going to talk about breaking some generational habits. I got 3 minutes with you, and that's all I'm going to need. Here's what I need you to understand. There are a few key things that change your life. Last year, this time, I was talking to people about a company that I thought could pay me $50,000 a month, not knowing that $50,000 a month was bondage, okay? Because that ceiling was not enough for the ideas and the plans and the desires that God planted in me. And now I'm in a company where one of the lower ranks is earning $50,000 a month, and the highest rank is earning $1 million a month. I went from a mindset where I was begging, praying, and pleading that I could somehow maybe one day touch $50,000 a month, and now I'm positioned to earn $1 million a month. So whenever you're removed for something, do not mourn for it because it might just be the plan that is set up for you to do more. Don't ever worry about what you're separated from. Always concern yourself to where you're elevated to. So there's 3 things that I want to talk to you about that transformed me and made me what people say an excellent speaker, people say an excellent builder, people say an excellent influencer. Listen, all I'm trying to do is help people break their own generational habits, okay? Diabetes don't run in your family. That's eating habits. Poverty don't run in your family. That's spending habits, okay? Habits. We're going to break some generational habits tonight, and I'm going to tell you 3 things that absolutely set it off for me that I have to remind myself all the time. 1, simple math problem. Desire without execution, desire minus execution is lifelong regret, all right? When your grandbabies are living on the side of town because you couldn't make a decision today so that you could help your children's children, just know, like my friend said earlier, if you're born into poverty, it's not your fault. But if you die there, take responsibility. So the first thing I want you to understand is that desire without any execution is just lifelong regret. Desire without any execution is going to keep those generational habits for having a stronghold on your babies, their babies, and their babies, and their babies, and their babies' babies, because the Bible says generations 3 and 4 deep. So I need you to understand this is serious. I know you might think this is an option. I know you might think that you made the choice to be here, but I really look at IML as a divine opportunity that even you don't have the right to disrespect. Sometimes the biggest person that disrespects our opportunity is us. It's not your haters. It's not your naysayers. And not your auntie who said no for the 4th time. It's us. And I want to ask you to think about it this way. How you move is everything. How you move, how you operate, how you work is everything. In a book that I was reading by T.D. Jakes and Instinct, he talks about how when we look at cells on a microscopic level, that you can see cells vibrate. Okay. And did you know that when they look at cells move, one of the things that they've been able to see is that these cells move differently. So you might have some cells that move fast and some cells that move slower. And what's crazy is we've all seen that little image in biology class where the cells kind of look like they're trying to get somewhere because they are. Because the cells that vibrate the same way they come together, and those cells might make an ear. And these cells, they vibrate the same way, and those cells might make the heart. And these cells, they vibrate a certain way, and those cells might make the feet. Let me ask you something. How are you moving? Are you operating in a way that's going to get you connected with Chairman 10s? Are you operating in a way that's going to create you and other people to be in the position to be a Chairman 100? How are you moving? What do your mornings look like? What does your phone calls look like? If I was to court subpoena your cell phone records right now, could I charge you guilty with building iMarkets Live? If I was to subpoena your the records right now from your cell phone, would you be found guilty for building iMarkets Live? Or is it just still your side chick? Is it just still your hobby that pays you maybe $150 a month? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about people that understand that desire without execution is just lifelong regret. So how are you moving? How are you moving? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? What conversations are you having? Trust me, they're watching. Trust me, they're watching. Okay? IML has been around long enough now that they're watching. They're looking. All the people you're scared to call them. Call them. All the people that are sitting in your phone that you really not know what angle, don't worry about it. Just call them. Call them. Before these beautiful people that you're hearing from tonight, before they call them. Because the worst feeling in the world is when your mama, who you didn't show IML, is calling you, trying to recruit you into IML. And here you go, what, dang it. How are you moving? How are you operating? Desire without execution is just lifelong regret. It stays with you forever. Your children's children will pay the price for your inaction. And the last thing I want to tell you guys is about posture. This was probably the thing that really changed my career when it comes to network marketing. I was not the person that talked like this, okay? It took me almost 8 months to properly invite someone because I was so terrified. I used to call and cry. I used to call and ask God, please don't let them answer this call. I have text messages that I would send my husband in the first few months of us being exposed into this industry. I used to tell him, when do you get home? Because I need your bravery to do this call. I need you to keep me accountable because I know if you're not here, I'll just hang up on them. I won't execute. I was so terrified. Let me tell you something. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to not know how to operate. It's okay to not know what execution looks like. It's okay to even question what is posture. But let me tell you something. Don't stay there. Don't stay there. You got too many examples. Grasp, reach, hang on to that coattail, because it was the woman who had nothing but faith that reached out and barely touched him, and she was healed. Barely got a piece of it. This right here, this call, this is your attempt to reach out and touch. So I want to congratulate you for being on here. But what does our posture look like? Because you're going to need it. I'm telling you, this is a big boy and a big girl's industry. IML is not for no chumps. This is a place where we're talking about really big money. I know no other company that is offering people $1 million a month, and I don't know one that could sustain that anyway. We are the deal. When I first saw this, I thought I was going to be silently trading in the corner, and slowly but surely my convictions and my story started to leak. And without even really wanting to build another network marketing company, it happened to be there, because what is for you is for you. You can run, hide, flee, but it will find you, and your desires will chase you down, and they will eat you alive. And that's exactly what happened with this company. I didn't want to build it. I wasn't interested. I wanted to be a little covert trader. I didn't want anyone to know I was trying to do this again. And the only reason I didn't want anyone to know is because I didn't want people to have opinions about me. I was so scared to try to do this a second time. What would I look like? What would people say about me? But here's what I understood. I understood that it was in the moments that Ruth did not want to speak that she said, are you sure that this is my role? Like, you want me to talk to the king and try to get him to not execute all my people? Like, I'm just a young girl. I didn't even ask to be here. I didn't even really want to be here. Are you sure? And the words that were spoken to her are the same things I'm going to tell you right now. You didn't decide to be here. You really think you're the author of your life? How foolish. This is a divine opportunity, and you were placed here for such a time as this. Because if you don't, then who will? And the same way that that young girl was sitting in that kingdom, not knowing what she was called to do, is the same way that you might be sitting here, not understanding what's in your hand. But I want to be the one to tell you, my friend, you have been called for such a time as this. It's you that's got to break generational habits in your family. Not your mama, she failed. Not her mama, she failed too. It's you that's been called to break generational habits. It's you that's been called to make sure your last name is never tied to poverty again. I know you're scared. I know you don't got the right words. I know you ain't never done this before. I know that I'm pushing you to do something and feel a way you've never felt before. I know you're confused. I know that they would not pick you to be the superstar of this team, but it is you that is called to be the next Chairman 100, because you were called for such a time as this, to save your community, to save your people. I need you to have a posture right now. I want you to literally how you feel right now. I need you to jot this down. I need you to borrow my bravery. I need you to can this. And as soon as we get off this call tonight, Every single one of you, I'm going to do a call to action. Make one phone call tonight because there's 200 of us here. And if we all go on one more chairman run, that's 100,000 more people in the system. What weak leg? What weak leg? So I'm asking you, have you really been set here for such a time as this? And let me explain. When you practice your posture and when you have an absolute, you can't wiggle it away, you absolutely know that you're supposed to be here and you're supposed to win at this, you just move different. You just move different. You start attracting top talent. They have no choice to call but to call your phone. They have no choice but to be attracted to your post. They have no choice to go, I don't know why I'm messaging you, but I feel like I need to be messaging you because you're moving a certain way. You're executing now all up in that desire. You have decided that, yes, you were placed here to save your communities because ain't nobody else coming to save them. And the last thing I'll tell you is when your posture is right in place and you got the right team with the right compensation plan, finally, can someone say amen? With the right compensation plan, with the right product that is producing results. No one can question our results. People are learning to trade here. And they're not just taking signals. They're actually knowing where their money's going, okay? Signals are for weak. When people actually know what they're doing, when we're educating aunties and grandmothers and disenfranchised communities, and we're telling them that I know the rest of the world says you're not Wall Street material, but you're our Wall Street material. And when that is the space that you're operating in, man, I wish and I hope that you could see what a little bit more posture could do for your business. Here's what posture is. I got a phone call from someone I used to do business with, and they were at a very high rank in our company, earning about $20,000, $30,000 a month. And she called me, and I thought, well, this is it. She's ready for the deal. But instead, she called me to expose me to one of our competitors. And I couldn't help myself. I wasn't rude, but it was the truth. And I said, listen, I understand that they got you out here sounding silly, saying words like Forex exchange and artificial intelligence. I understand it's not your fault, but let me tell you something about iMarkets Live. iMarkets Live is reaching corners of the world that nobody else wants anything to do with. iMarkets Live is teaching third world countries how to trade. We're redeeming third world families. We're touching every crevice of this country, every painful part, and we're reaching out to these people and we're teaching them something that no one else would ever teach them to do. We're grabbing their hand and we're not leaving them behind. We're welcoming disenfranchised communities. We're rising up young brothers and young sisters, people who look like us, talk like us, walk like us, and we're letting them know that you too are deserving of $1 million a month, and I'll show you how. And we're speaking life into their situation because everything we do is real. Our truth is absolutely enough. So I know they have you operating out here sounding very silly, but until you put 40,000 people in this industry, do not call my phone. And when you are ready for sustainability, meets compensation, meets a product that actually works, call my line again. And until then, don't talk to me because I know exactly what I have my hands on. I will not be swayed. I'm not a cookie crumb eater. I'm not out here to jump from company to company to company. I'm here to co-create. I'm here to make stories. And I'm here to lead the next 1,000 Chairman 100s because my community needs it. I don't know about yours. And here's what I know. I know that every time that I'm absolutely sure of where I'm at, that God gets all the glory, that he will expand my territory, that he will give me influence. He will allow me to do no harm. And with that recipe right there, I have no choice but to break every generational habit that has snuck its way into my last name. This is not just about money because money is nothing. It's just a tool. This is about what you will do with it. I'm not interested in your dream car. I'm not interested in your dream house. I want to know what generational curses are you ready to break? Because the worst thing about poverty is not that you don't have money. We learn how to do that. The worst thing about poverty is the pain that it exposes people to. The worst thing about poverty is the drugs and the abuse and the pain that it exposes good people to. And that is what we're putting an end to. So listen, this call is very, very clear. We are looking for who's looking for us. If you are on the line and you're done playing games, come on. I don't know anybody else out there paying people what they're worth. I've been part of great companies where all the money goes to the top and it stays there. Chris Terry has made it very clear he's not interested in any more money. He wants to leave stories. So I'm going to take full advantage of that. I'm talking to everyone who can hear my voice right now. You are a Chairman 100. You make $100,000 a month. I can see that money in the account. They're saying your name right now from stage. You're getting ready to go on stage. They're playing that song that you told the DJ to select. You're grabbing your children. You're letting them know, come on, don't fall on the steps on the way to the stage, baby. Hold my hand. You're embracing your spouse. You're getting the mic handed to you. The crowd is standing right now. There's tears in your eyes. You didn't even plan on crying. Your mom is there because you could afford to fly her in last minute. She's in the front row. She has no idea what's happening, but she's crying with you too. Your daddy's there. He's crying with you too. You get the microphone. People are cheering for your name. Your children are watching this happen. Awards and rings are being handed to you while you're trying to get your words. That's why I see you. That's why I know you would belong. And I want you to see it for you too. So desire without execution is just a lifelong regret. You got to operate. You have to move in a way that's going to attract Chairman 10s to you like flies to food. And lastly, you have got to get your bravery up. You have got to get your posture up. Wealth has no room for cowards. You have got to let the coward die. That does not come from a good source. That comes from the enemy. That you got to let that cowardice die. That coward has not been serving you. That coward has been starving your entire last name this entire time. That coward is the reason that what your bank account is right now, it looks like that because of the coward living inside of you. So tonight's call is permission to get a seat and to tell it cannot follow you into the next season of your life. You're here, you have posture, you're executing, you're ready, and you're taking full advantage of what's put in front of you. How dare you be more faithful to a job that discredits and devalues you than to be more faithful to the mission to break generational habits in your last name. We're looking for people who are looking for us. Let us know if you're ready for a chairman run. If you're really ready for a chairman run, because we're ready to team up with you and take this team to the next level. It's a shame we only have 20 chairmen. I'm looking for the next 50 chairmen. I'm looking for someone who's better than me that's on the line right now. It's time for you to reach out to your leadership, say, I'm ready, push me. Help me break my own generational habits. Guys, I'm excited for this season. Unleashed is going to be exactly what it's called, Unleashed. And we're ready to help you unleash those habits that are not producing wealth in your last name. Ask me, do I sound serious? Does it sound like it's a game? This is very real. And guys, I have the pleasure of introducing you to just kind of the next person who's going to
Wait, Wanda. We need to breathe. We need to exhale. Wait a minute. We need a break. We need a second. Oh, bless you. You are tremendous. I mean, you bring tears to my eyes. I'm looking at the chat. You are touching so many team members. They're saying I can't breathe. Oh my God, you made me ready. I believe again. Oh my God, you broke it down. Baby girl, you are surgical with this. You may have been a nurse and not a doctor, but you are surgical with this. This is the industry you were made for. And I saw those children not tripping up the stairs as you talked about them. They were your children. You're holding their hands. I can't wait to welcome you on stage at Chairman 25, Chairman 50, Chairman 100. I know it's going to happen for you and for Randy.
Yep.
Let's go.
Thank you, baby.